I'm going to expand the screen.
Hey everyone, T. Brown Rebel, the host and creator of the New Music and Artist Show. We are doing our second live stream interview. A little bit about the New Music and Artist Show. This show is designed to promote new recording artists, the original music to music lovers who look for new sounds to enjoy, but not only the music. We're talking about the stories and the artists that tell us those stories and through those songs. And if you found us, you are here tonight. You obviously found us on Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram. We got a little bit of a weird Instagram handle. It's new_music_and_artist_show. But when you're late to the party, that's what you get. Also, we have started a YouTube channel. We've got one out there. If you want to find out all about Marlon D, the last guest, his video is out there. That was the live stream that we did a couple of weeks ago. And so Marlon was, thank you, Marlon, for being the champion in the very first one and kind of a raw video. So with me today is Tori Boltwood. Tori is joining us from Texas, and we are featuring her song Fame. Tori, I listened to Fame 10 times today, and I loved it the first time, and I loved it 10 times more the second time.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
We had a lot of fun talking before we came
Yes.
on. Where are you joining us from tonight?
I am joining you tonight from Fort Worth, Texas.
You've been doing a lot of recording lately.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of your posts. And do you record in and around Fort Worth area?
Yes, I record in Skidmore, Texas, which is about 40 minutes to an hour away from Corpus Christi, Texas, with Sound Machine Studios with Mason Shirley, who's my producer.
Nice. How did you get started in music?
Well, that's kind of a long story, because as long as I could remember, I've always loved music. As a kid, I would write little songs. And then when I got into 6th grade, I went to a charter art school and did musical theater and choir all the way through 12th grade. And then I also did musical theater in college as well. But when we moved to Texas about 3.5 years ago, I was auditioning for a bunch of universities for musical theater programs. And then I just asked myself, is this really what I want to be doing? Is it because this is the only thing I ever thought that I could do with music, was musical theater? And then was like, hey, how about independent music? And that kind of started it all. But the real story behind it, that kind of, and I don't want to get emotional, as my grandmother passed away about a year or two into being in Texas. And she, on our last phone call, she told me, you need to do this. You need to do music your way and keep doing it and don't give up. And for someone who had always been like traditional jobs, that's how she had been raised, do traditional jobs, do traditional things. And never music had seemed like a real thing to her. But at the end, she gave me that power and that love and that inspiration to do it, to kind of do music my way and be true to myself. So that was how really music started for me, as always doing it for somebody else, like always doing it for somebody else's approval or trying to make people proud. And it became, she saw me, she loved me, and she believed in me, and I just had to do it because she could see it. Obviously, I just had to give it a try.
Yeah, and I listened to your music, like I said, Fame a lot today, 10 times at least, and your other songs that are out there, and I subscribe to Spotify, and I know that she's very proud of you right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
Who are your musical influences?
Well, that is also a very good question. So I grew up, my father loves Elvis Presley, and I grew up listening to Elvis Presley ever since I was very little. And it kind of was my way of connecting with him, because he just loved Elvis. And he was actually going to go to his last concert before he sadly passed away. So he would always talk about Elvis Presley so fondly. And when I listened to Elvis Presley's voice for the first time as a young child, it was like, wow, this is someone with a sound that is so unusual, and it changed the world. Because I different sound than, mainstream pop or mainstream music. A lot of circumstances. And when I heard his voice, it gave me power because it made me feel like I can be successful and unique and still do what I love. And, Adele as well, she has a beautiful, strong, deep, sultry voice. And it gave me a light because I always felt kind of lost about being so different sound wise. And when I heard her and growing up listening to Elvis Presley, just any artist that had the ability to be choose to be different and not to subscribe to having to be a certain way or a certain sound. There's a Swedish artist called Isaac Danielson that I love, and he has a very different sound. Alec Benjamin is more mainstream, but he has a very different sound. So every time that I hear a new artist, even today, that just has a different sound and goes against what we would subscribe as a normal pop, normal country, anything, it kind of inspires me to continue make music and continue to be myself.
That's an awesome story.
Thank you.
While you were, we get into the 1 minute rapid fire questions a little bit later, but one question that would be a good one is, what's your favorite Elvis song?
Oh God, I would have to say "Love Me Tender" because it was my grandmother's favorite song, and every time I sang it, she would get really emotional. So it just has a fond, sentimental value to it.
Can you sing a couple lines for us?
Love me tender, love me so, never let me go.
Fantastic. For doing that impromptu, that was really good.
Thank you.
Tori, we're talking about featuring the song "Fame," and like I said, I listened to it about 10 times today. And thanks for allowing us to try this. What I want to do is I want to share it with the listeners, and the way that we do it for those watching and in listening, and will listen to the podcast and see the YouTube video, is that I use a service called StreamYard here, and I can share the screen, and I can drop it into into a link. And if I can do this really fast, we are going to be able to listen to it really fast. So here's "Fame."
Tell me just to worry about myself. Just stay focused, not to give out help. Please don't build up others so one day could hurt you. Have to close out the entire world, Rather be drunk on a vision. You made up your mind for the vision. Choose transparency over blindness. There's no weakness in this kindness. If we can build up others around us, and who are we to deserve this fame? This fame becomes a chain reaction. Bang, bang, bang. One day we'll find you've gone insane, blaming the fame. The fame. Can we all be winners?
That is unbelievable.
Thank you. It's a good clip. My favorite part of the song is always the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't want to go through the whole song, give everything away, because we want people to go and stream it. There's kind of a cool form to this song. We've got the verse, we've got the chorus, we've got the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, if I remember right, and then it finishes with a bridge. Did you do that on purpose?
So the funny thing when I create music is before 2 years ago, I never wrote music. I wrote a lot of poetry. I wrote a lot of fictional stories because my mom's a writer. She's a brilliant writer. So she passed that down to me, that love for that. So I never had learned the structure of songwriting. So every time that I write with my co-writer, Jameson, he's like, wow, it's like you don't have any, I never learned the rules. So I kind of make music that's limitless because I never do things by what I think I have to do it. It always just kind of creates itself. I've done things that traditionally break the structure of songwriting all the time. And it's because I just go it by feeling and how it sounds and how and what it means, and never like, okay, I have to repeat the chorus. I can't reinvent this. I can't bring a new idea in here. If it feels right and sounds right, I'm going to do it, even if it's against the traditional songwriting script.
Yeah, a lot of people have made a lot of money by going with how they feel and how they write, and hopefully that's in the cards for you.
Oh, thank you. So no, it was not a like a decision that I made intentively. It was just a decision that I made with my heart, my mind, and my ears, and ended up working out.
Yeah, there's a lot of feeling in your songs and in Fame. Can you share with us where did the song come from?
So Fame was actually the song concept that I was most nervous, and when it was finished, I was the most nervous to put out, because I was like, oh, this is going to be, it's very artful, it's very kind of has a lot of layers to it, and I was really scared of putting it out because I didn't think it was going to be able to be understood, you know, in a way that would make sense to a large amount of people. And it ended up being our most popular song yet, with we're almost to 8,000 streams.
Almost 8,000.
Yeah. So that was like, it was like ironic, you know, and you just got to trust yourself sometimes. But the main concept behind Fame was I had experienced a lot of toxic behavior and kind of structure in the music industry and in the performance industry, where we try to make it this competition where there's not enough room for other artists, that if you are an artist and you are trying to make it a career and be successful, you always have to be afraid of the people that are coming up behind you. And for me, I believe it's every artist's job, whether you're in music, anything, is to make music a better place for the people that are coming behind us, and to make the environment safer, healthier, stronger. And so it was like a rebellion against the toxic elements of the music industry and how I had been kind of raised, even as a kid in musical theater. Compete against this person because you're competing for one part, all these different girls or all these different boys or all these different people. And I just hated it. I hated that feeling because I was not raised that way. I was raised to support, build up other people, love other people, be kind to other people, treat them the way you want to be treated by my wonderful parents. They instilled that into me. So even as a kid, where I was being told by people, you need to have a competitive nature. You need to be able to compete against other artists. It was like, I love other artists. I love that they're talented. I want to work with them because they're talented. I will be successful as an original, and I'm not going to ever hurt other people or try to attack other people or tear other people down to get success. Because if you do that, it becomes an explosive, toxic thing that you never really end up winning. Yes, you may have a lot of money and success and big houses, but are you going to be able to sleep at night? Are you going to be able to know that you made the world and the music world a better place? So that's what Fame really was me trying to explain in a lot of different layers, that if we treat fame like a toxic element, it will poison us. It will be explosive. It will be a weight. It'll be something that drags us down. Instead, we can lift each other up. So
what a great message.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, that's in today's world, we either have two different, you know, the totally competitive, just step on that person, or we have complacency, and you bring those together. I mean, you're not a complacent person. Through everything that we've talked about in the last half an hour, you and I, but yet you're so grounded with your principles, and that's a wonderful message to tell everybody.
Thank you. 100%. My mother and my father, they instilled that in me and my twin brother. And just by having that support system, I understand that a lot of people don't. And it's not their fault. Sometimes they just have to be, shown a different way. Artists that are competing because they think they have to. And that song, hopefully for those people, is like, take a breath, relax, let go, and help yourself become a better artist for your future and for the future of the people coming behind you.
Sure. Tori, you have a unique sound. You mentioned it. It's very unique. Has anyone ever compared you to any other artist before?
Yes.
Your sound?
Yes.
Where do you get the most from?
Cher. I've gotten young Cher. Even when I did musical theater, I got, oh my God, you sound like a young Cher. And it was very flattering. I got Elvis Presley because I would always perform Elvis Presley, like a female Elvis, they would say. So those are the main two. And then I've gotten Adele, but not a whole lot of newer artists. It's always like the more back in the day kind of smoky, kind of soulful sound. So Elvis and Cher have been the most that I've been compared to.
Has anyone ever said Lana Del Rey?
Yes, I have gotten a little bit of that. I've gotten that once or twice, but not as much.
Yeah. And I think that anything artistic that has some kind of influence people relate to always. And I haven't had a guest yet that say, I always get compared to this person and I hate it. It seems like the mind even has some kind of influence that we work on. And but you've perfected it. So whoever you've ever been compared to, you've perfected it.
Thank you. It's always a compliment. I know that I don't sound like anyone. I know that I'm an original and I'm confident in that. But I love Elvis Presley. I think Cher is brilliant. And if you want to compare me, music is for the individual person, each, so complex. So everyone's going to hear something different, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, by the way, I've resisted so far because the conversation's been so good. The earrings are fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. Lightning Bolt. My last name is Boltwood, and we do a lot of lightning bolts in our family. So
has it become a brand?
Yes, I am actually going to be using it in my branding. I'm going to be building a website with a lot of bolts and stuff like that. So I'm really excited, but I use it a lot in my pictures and my marketing and stuff like that. So
yeah. I had to ask you, in your pictures, do you do a lot of the choreographing of them? Obviously, it's hard to do the picture, but they're very artistic. There's the one that with the blue, the blue teardrops that come down. Yes. So you do that.
Yes, I do all of my own marketing, all of my own picture taking. As an independent artist, that's something that I enjoy, and I've had some of my first cover, Breakup Call, was shot by a wonderful Madeline. She's the photographer that I used for that. And I have a bunch of content from her, but all of my covers for every other song I have created and taken the photo myself.
They're very creative. Wonderful photos and cover for your songs. What's your favorite song that you've written?
It's difficult for me because I love every song differently, and I also sometimes dislike a song differently for different things. But one of my favorite ones that me and my co-writer Jameson have written is actually unreleased yet. But the favorite one out of the ones we've published would be Crybaby and Fame. Crybaby for me, though, is definitely my favorite that we've written.
Yeah, another awesome song. So you do work with a co-writer from time always, or time to time, or
every single time. Jameson's, I get his name wrong and I always get mad. Jameson Tabor. I read last names very like how it looks is how I say it, but he is my co-writer. He has co-written with me on every single song that has been published and every single song that is yet to be published. And he also does co-production with my producer on a few tracks as well.
Cool. Brown is easy.
Yes. Boltwood is usually, I would think, easy, but I've gotten wood before, and I'm like, no, not a bolt.
Yeah. Tori, have you played some gigs anywhere, or are you going to be somewhere soon? What's going on in the live scene?
Well, because I've only started independent music for 2 years, and it really got started during COVID, so kind of haven't done anything independent music-wise, but I did a lot of jazz performances, live performances, and I really loved those, and I also did a live performance of The Christmas Carol with a full orchestra, and that was the craziest, most challenging, but most rewarding thing I've ever did. So anything jazz band related that I did performances, I loved, and also the Christmas Carol performing with a full orchestra, I was the most terrified, and it ended up being the most rewarding performance that I've done.
Yeah, that sounds very unique, very
It
interesting. Yeah.
was.
If there is one thing in the world that you could have that you don't have now, what
Mhm.
would that be?
Well, I have two answers for you for that because if we're talking about fictional, anything in the world, we could have it, we could change. Both me and my twin brother were born with heart disease, and we were 2 months premature. And I have watched my amazing, loving brother be a champion and just go through 3 open heart surgeries. And if I had the ability to take that away and make him healthy, I would do that in a heartbeat with every fiber of my being. No hesitation. I would allow him because he's amazing. He's so strong. You would never know. He's super healthy, super positive, super loving. He's an angel on earth. But if I could take that away from him and never let him have to struggle again with that, I would do it. And then if we're talking about musically, just to have a healthy music career, a successful, healthy music career. And I say healthy because successful can be up in the air. It can be good and bad. So if I want it, I want it to be a healthy, successful music career.
That is fantastic.
Thank you.
Hey, you want to do the 1 minute rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Okay. All right. For new watchers or new listeners, we do I do a 1 minute rapid fire question with our guests. It's just a question answer. It usually lasts more than a minute, but they're completely off the cuff and unedited,
Okay.
and guests have a lot of fun with it. And as a matter of fact, Tori, if we have a chance to go on Instagram Live, I'm actually going to do with guests that have been on the show, just all rapid fire questions.
Oh gosh.
And it would be an Instagram Live, and we'd put
Sounds
that
like a
out
great
there.
idea.
Yeah. So if you'd like to do it, let's get through the 1 minute and see if you like it first.
Let's
So
first, yeah.
yeah,
Let's test it.
yeah, let's test it. So here we go. What is your favorite song of all time?
Oh God, anything Elvis Presley.
Who is your favorite artist of all time?
Elvis Presley.
What's your favorite color?
I love cool colors, so light blue.
I was wondering if that was going to be Elvis Presley.
Blue suede shoes.
There we go. What is your favorite season? Summer, spring, winter, or fall?
Well, grew up in Florida, so we didn't have many other seasons except hot. But I really do love the idea of fall, and I've kind of witnessed a little bit of that in Texas. So fall.
What's your favorite food?
I love all types of food. I really love sushi, but sentimental wise, I love Swedish Swedish meatballs because my mom makes them for us every single Christmas. My grandmother made it. My great grandmother made it. So it's traditional. So it makes me feel close to my family.
Sounds delicious.
They are.
What is your favorite drink?
I actually don't drink any soda. My family does not. I don't drink coffee usually because of the caffeine. So I really like lemonade and like sweet tea mixed together. That's like one of my favorite drinks.
A favorite in the South, sweet tea,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Best movie you've ever seen?
Oh, geez. Oh, there's so many. I really love Studio Ghibli. I don't know if you know them, but they're an animation movie. So I love Howl's Moving Castle or Spirited Away from that. But I also love Flipped, which is a really good actual movie, like not animated.
Your 3 favorite movie characters of all time?
Oh, geez. Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. I was in love with live action Peter Pan as a kid, so that holds sentimental value as well. And then Julie Baker from Flipped was a really cute, awesome like character for me.
What show are you binge watching?
I don't binge watch a lot of shows, but I did recently binge watch Annie with an E, which is an amazing show, I believe, on Netflix. So I would highly recommend that one.
What are you doing right after this live stream?
I am going to be eating dinner with my family, and then I'm going to be writing more music, which I am super excited to do.
So I won't hold you up too much longer,
Oh,
Tori. Seems
I
like,
enjoyed it.
and I certainly don't want to hold up dinner.
No, don't worry. It won't be upheld.
So you touched on it a little bit, but when you talk about your career, what's the vision?
Would you mind saying that again? It
Yeah,
glitched a
when
little
you
bit.
talk
Would you
about
mind
your
saying it?
career, you hit on a little bit, what you want out of this, but
Mhm.
when you look at it, the vision,
Mhm.
what is the vision for your career?
To never to be in the position as an artist to continue to make music for my entire life that is able to support myself and be able to travel and be able to be with my family and just make it the career, to connect with people. For me, it's not about the fame. It's not about how big you can get as an artist, how many people know your name. It's the quality. I really, as an independent artist, I've learned the importance of building quality versus quantity. And for me, it's just to continue and keep that. I've always been taught to be very grounded and very humble and very loving and compassionate, and I really want to keep that as an artist, to just be, when I'm 90 years old, still be making music and never let the music industry define me or limit me or tell me how I have to make music. I say I make indie pop, but my music, you can find elements of all different kinds of things in my music. Theater, musical theater, rock, it's everything. And I love that. Not to, my songs, they're none of them you can like say, oh my God, that's like the same thing, but just changed a little bit. And that's what I really love to do as an artist, is to continue to be original and organic to myself and take power in my differences and how different my voice sounds, and just be like, yes, this is me, this is who I am, and I am going to continue for as long as I possibly can to make authentic, truthful music that tells important messages and can hopefully help other people. I really love that. I love to make music that people can connect with. With Crybaby, with Fame, people have come to me and you don't even understand. I'm crying. This has helped me so much. And that is what I love more than anything. And then also to be able to write with other artists. I haven't done, a whole lot of collaborations, but oh, that's the dream, to be able to be writing with, really cool artists, with people that I admire, with artists that I admire, to hopefully one day be able to write with them.
That is your humbleness and as you mentioned, grounded is going to take you really, really far.
Thank you.
And that's an outstanding vision.
Thank you.
You're well on your way.
Thank you.
What is the very next step in your career?
As an independent artist, it's difficult because we get all the time that, oh, you have to make an album, like an album makes you an artist. And I have learned, just through, this is my own opinion, through my own experiences, every artist is individual and will experience something different. And I think that's important to remember, because we get pressured into writing, oh, if you want to be an artist, you have to write an album. And for me, I have found great success in singles, that releasing singles where I have consistent content, where, there's always something new for someone to listen. People really enjoy that. And as a new artist, it really has been helpful. And even though I'm always like, oh, can you consider me a real artist because I didn't release 12 songs, but I don't want to take the time to just write an entire album and not be putting out stuff to connect with people right now in this beginning stage. So for right now, short term, it's continue to write music and put out music in single forms, and just give people constant music and completely, like, just continue to give the world my viewpoint, my heart, because music is such an intimate part of who I am, that being able to share that consistently through the months and through the years, just continue to do that. And then when the time is right, start looking at bigger projects. I mean, I choose to do music over music videos, over all different kinds of things, because I believe, as an independent artist, we sometimes have to make difficult choices, and you can't always, every artist is different. And if you let them say, oh, you have to make thousands of dollars video to be a real artist, you have to put that kind of content out. There's artists, on TikTok, filming 60 seconds and it's blowing up and it's changing their music career. Be true to yourself, and just make content that matters to you, and don't try to limit yourself based on how the music industry thinks you have to do it. So for me, it's just continue to find out what my truth in music every single day is, write music every single day, and put out songs that I love and that are authentic to who I am, and connect with other people through that.
That's great advice to anyone in any career.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, do we have 20 hours?
Oh, we have as much time as you would like to take.
Well, first and foremost, I have to shout out my loving mom, my dad, my twin brother. They are the light of my lives. They have made this possible, especially through the COVID and all the, I think we've all had a very difficult time, and kind of finding ourselves again after that difficult time. It has been extremely difficult, and music has been a form of my therapy. But without the support and love of my mom and my dad and my twin brother and my family, just telling me, oh, do this, this is what you're meant to do, because I think we all get insecure and we get scared of what is being an artist to me. Can I do this? We get told by the world 100 times that, oh, what's your backup plan? What's your real job? And it's like, any job that I take will not be my real job. This is my only real job. And so my parents have always supported that. They're entrepreneurs, and they have always told me, be your own boss. Even if you're not your own boss, be going towards that goal. Educate yourself in marketing. So definite shout out to my amazing and loving family. They are the reason that I am able to do it, and the reason that I'm here today. My mom and my dad, they've done amazing things for me and my brother with our health. They were given such hard circumstances with our heart disease, and they always told us, you can be anything. We were supposed to be short, not mainstream. We were not supposed to live past like 25. And here I am, 25, I'm 5'10", graduated honors in high school. And my brother, the same thing. My brother is 6'5", I think. He's super tall, loving, smart, intelligent. And it's like, my mom and my father instilled in me, you are not defined by what the doctors say or what society says. You can be anything you want. Just believe in yourself, and we love you, and you can do it. So definitely shout out to my parents. Shout out to Jameson, my co-writer. Without him, none of this music would be, possible to its best form. He truly comes to every co-write, and he just trusts me. He lets me talk. He lets me be emotional, and he supports me 100%. And I'm very, very grateful for him. And then Mason Shirley, my producer, he's amazing. He at Sound Machine Studios in Skidmore, Texas. He has done an amazing job building his brand and building his business, and he has been a key element in making my music the best it could be. He finds the instrumentalists, all the instrumentalists, a big shout out to them who's been a part of it, because music would be nowhere without the instrumentalists. And he finds every connection for me because I was new, and I think that's so important for us to look for the good people and make that connection, and then build your structure together. So all those people, and a big shout out to you, Troy, because you give artists this platform, and you show this amount of care, and you listen, and you build like almost these friendships in how you do these interviews, and you build a safe space for us, and you give us, we can feel invisible. And you make us feel seen and heard, which is very important. And I just wanted to thank you so much for giving me that opportunity to feel seen and feel heard.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure, Tori. And,
thank you.
And you're right. There's connections that all of us who love music, I think we all feel connected, and when I get a chance to share your music with other people, and I mentioned to you that I've been out with other artists that we've done this, and all of a sudden up on their playlist comes an artist that's been a guest, and that is definitely going to happen.
There's no accidents. I feel like you put good into the world and good comes back, and that's definitely what you're doing, and thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And thanks for the shout out. Yeah.
No
Uh,
problem.
and you know what? Everybody on this stream, I didn't have to pay Tori anything for that. So,
I would do
but
it again.
hey, Tori, where can we find Fame?
Okay, so I distribute with DistroKid. So you can basically find Fame and any of my music on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer. They have it everywhere. They're putting new ones every single day. They're bringing new platforms onto their site. So anywhere you can stream or buy music, Amazon Music, that's where Fame will be.
Awesome. And where can we find you?
I am on, so primarily I'm on Instagram at Tori Bolts, which is my name, and then Bolts with a Z. That's my Instagram. I also do the same name in TikTok. I've been experimenting with that. That's been a whole new thing. It's awesome. The independent music that is blowing TikTok, I was like, oh my God, TikTok. But now I'm like, oh my God, TikTok. It's amazing. It's been a journey to explore it. But I'm on Facebook. I have 2 pages. I have my personal page, which you can add me to, and I would definitely love. But I also have Tori Boltwood Music, and then I have on my Instagram, I have a link for almost everything as well.
Yeah. Tori, this has been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you taking the time and sharing your passion, your insights, your inspiration to others. You're an inspiration to others.
Thank you.
And this has truly been my pleasure. I hope we get to do some kind of collaboration again in the near future.
Would love to.
Yeah. And I wish that I had just just huge inspiring thing to leave everybody with. And, but I do things just a little bit different.
Oh boy.
And it's the only way that I know how. But first of all, you can again find us you can find us on Instagram. We're going to have Tori Boltwood out there on our Instagram in the very near future. And if you're watching this live stream, if you're hearing the podcast, you've already seen her out on Instagram. And we're just going to throw everything out there that we can. And Tori, anything else before I wrap it up here?
Yes. Thank you so much. First off, to every other person, to every human being that is watching this, remember that you are worthy of your dreams. Big, small, in between. The world will try to say otherwise. There will be people that will try to say otherwise. But you are worthy of your dreams. You have everything within yourself to achieve and be successful at your dreams. Just believe, give yourself love, and be compassionate and passionate about what you want. And I promise you can achieve it.
Yes, Tori, that is a great wrap up and a great conclusion.
Thank you so much.
You keep chasing your dreams.
Always, 100%, 24/7.
Keep your eye on the prize.
Yes.
And you're going to do very, very well in this in the music industry and in anything you want to do in life. So
thank you so much.
All right, everyone. Enjoy the music, everybody.
You ready to rumble?